Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the first race of the chase here in the Snickers Cup Series. We are at Riki Raceway to finish off this race weekend, which has been truly an exciting one as we prepare for the largest chase field in NNSCRA history, 16 drivers, to begin an epic journey to become the Season 2 Snickers Cup Series champion. Well, the drivers that are on the front row are in that field of 16 cars. That is Noel Stiller on the inside, and on the outside is Ray Wilson. And right there in third, you got another chase competitor in Jared Crocius. Let's take a look now at the chase scenario, the point standings coming into tonight's race. Okay, so here's how it looks. With this being the largest chase in NNSCRA history, drivers that are down from probably about 7th on down, they're going to have to scrape and claw, and they're going to have to really work to get up into the top 5 in the standings. Now, Arnold Columbia, Alex Lozano, they can kind of risk a bad finish today, but they're really not going to want to do that due to the fact that they have only a 5-point cushion over McCurry, Pacioli, Nugent, James, Chambers, guys who already have a win this season. But as far as these other guys, Richards, Nathan, Wilson, Cook, Stiller, McCurry, Marsh, Crocius, Murphy, I would say go for the win. Risk it all, because you're going to want to remain within that mathematical equation to be able to remain in championship contention. A bad finish could take you out of the championship picture as early as tonight. So who's going to be able to survive? We're going to find out here tonight at Riki Raceway, and we may have a new points leader when we leave here today since it's so close. So pretty much the exact same thing that I said in the Mobile One Cup Series. Those drivers that are winless, they are either 5 or 10 points back behind some of those top guys, such as Alex Lozano and Arnold Columbia. They are going to have to be careful here tonight. Make sure they come away with a good, consistent finish. Time to show you the starting lineup for tonight's race. As I mentioned, the two chase contenders, they're on the front row. Jared Crocius, another chase contender there in third, will start off alongside of Shane Green. Noah Cars, he'll line up beside of another chase contender there, Arnold Columbia, guy who actually is tied for the lead with Alex Lozano in the chase standings right now. Then we got James McLeod. He'll start to the outside of another chase contender. That's Jack Richards. John Dillon, or actually make that Adam Chambers, another chase contender, will start off alongside of John Dillon. Kenny McCurry, that's another chase contender who actually near the pretty much the whole second half of the season was able to bypass Timmy Pacioli in the standings and take the lead for many, many races, but now finds himself down. I believe he is 10 points behind both Columbia and Lozano in the standings, and he'll line up alongside of Matthew Rodriguez. Jacob Cook, another chase contender, lined up alongside of James Bald. Devin Wilson, beside of Joshua Courier. Then it'll be Vincent Marsh, another chase contender there, alongside fellow chase contender Christian Janes, piloting the number 17 Best Buy Ford Fusion for the rest of the season. Jake Berg, he'll line up alongside of another chase contender in Patrick Murphy. T.O. Bain will line up beside of Daniel Schwab. Alex Lozano, co-points leader this week. He is right alongside of John Worry. That's going to be Anthony McCurry, another chase contender, alongside of Ziggy Bain. Jack Nathan, another chase contender, beside of another chase contender in Evan Nugent. Timmy Pacioli, that's another chase contender, alongside of Jordan Hester. Then you got John Brace beside of Connor Breton, Sean Galligan alongside Trent Whitney. Angel D'Souza will line up beside of Nick Eggleston. Then it's Harold Columbia alongside of Felix Harris. Dougie Shears, defending series champion, who will not be able to defend his championship this season. He'll line up alongside of Jonathan Morris. And then it's Robert Ban and Emilio Navarrete, the rest of the field. So, the 16 chase competitors not starting off in terrible positions, not starting off at the back, obviously, and so we may have a pretty even playing field here during the course of this race. However, we have seen that this racetrack can bring about many strange-looking wrecks, many wrecks that actually close up the entire racetrack to competitors running near the back of the pack, so this really could shake up the points and could cause problems for drivers in this mere 20 laps of racing. Quite a few drivers raced this track in the Oreo Truck Series and in the Mobile One Cup Series races that were held here, so they've got a little bit of experience, but Anything can happen. This track is very unpredictable. And who knows, we may have a different points leader when we leave here today. We may have drivers mathematically out of championship contention when we leave here today. It is possible. As Noel Stiller and Ray Wilson, two championship contenders, will put us under the green flag as they hold the front row. 20 laps of racing at Riki Raceway. The largest chase field in NNSCRA history is green. And I believe a total of 6 drivers that are in the chase started in the top 10. Just like that, I see Kenny McCurry back there splitting John Dillon 3 wide. He's trying to pick up spots early. No wins this season, which put him behind the 8 ball a little bit after leading most of the second half in the point standings. Here comes Jared Crocious, another chase contender, to the inside of Noel Stiller. He's got another chase contenders behind him. Arnold Columbia, Jack Richards, and Adam Chambers, all in that chase picture. Jared Crocious will lead that lap. But here comes Arnold Columbia to the inside. These cars are flying around this racetrack. 230 miles per hour was the speed at the line. Oh! John Dillon gets turned. Jacob Cook's involved. Cook, one of the championship contenders. Devin Wilson is in the wall back there as well. John Dillon, I know, was turned. I know Jacob Cook, a chase contender, was taken out right there. Also, the car of Devin Wilson slammed the wall with the rear decklet of his race cars. It looks like Jack Richards is going to lead him down here at the caution flag. He will indeed. Let's take a look and see who was involved in all this. Jake Berg, Connor Breton. There's what remains of Jacob Cook's car. Another chase contender involved there. Kenny McCurry. Noah Cars is involved. And here we got a whole cornucopia of wrecked race cars. Let's see if we can find out who they are. Jack Nathan looks like he's okay. Christian James looks like he's okay. Damage to the Sean Galligan machine, however. There is some right side damage to James Bald's race car. Shane Green is damaged. There's Devin Wilson's race car. I know he got turned. Vincent Marsh has a donut on the left side of his car. A little bit of front end damage as well. That's another chase contender that is damaged. And there's someone smoking up here, I think. Well, that's Jake Berg. Evan Nugent, another chase contender, involved. Jacob Cook retiring. There's Nugent sitting on pit road. Jacob Cook has already retired. Nugent may be the next, as many chase contenders are involved here in the first wreck of the night. There goes Vincent Marsh. Let's follow him. Where is Marsh? Jack Nathan there as well. Well, Vincent Marsh has retired from this race, but we're going to try and see if we can find Vincent Marsh. There he is. Joshua Courier also was involved in this. Vincent Marsh there. We're waiting to see if Marsh will be able to get repairs done to his race car. There's Alex Lozano, co-points leader on pit road. He pulls off. Jack Nathan pulls off, another chase contender. Nugent, however, remains on pit road. I believe, yes indeed, Vincent Marsh has retired from this race. We're waiting to see what Evan Nugent's going to do, but let's now look back at a replay at what caused so many of these chase contenders to get caught up in the first wreck of the night. Let's take a close look, see what happened. It may have been Alex Lozano in the 1 turning the 22 of Joshua Courier. Let's watch carefully here. No, it was further up here. Kenny McCurry turned Shane Green. Down into Jacob Cook. Devin Wilson's involved. Vincent Marsh was involved. Jake Berg gets nailed by Vincent Marsh right there. Look at Jacob Cook up into the fence there. Nowhere for anybody to go here. Watch when they come off this turn. Just closes the gap up. Lozano did turn Joshua Courier, though. James Bald was involved. Noah Cars goes up and slams that wall. Devin Wilson, Vincent Marsh, John Dillon. Christian James was spun. Patrick Murphy, I think I don't know if he was involved or not. Sean Galligan was indeed involved. Dougie Shears may have gotten some of it. Connor Breton gets into the back of John Brace there. Ziggy Bain was involved. This whole wreck was going on further up. Oh! Evan Nugent flipped upside down and barrel rolled. There's Marsh. There's Lozano. Nugent. Pacioli right there in the smoke. And right there is Christian James turned sideways. A lot of championship contenders right here. And that one right there, upside down, that's Evan Nugent, one of those championship contenders I was just talking about. Right there on the left side of your screen, there's Patrick Murphy going on by. He's a championship contender. And boy, a lot of wrecking going on. Oh, right there, Jack Nathan, another championship contender. Ended up getting into the Evan Nugent machine. But I believe he was able to continue on. I think he gets rear-ended by Emilio Navarrete. So a lot of cars. Look at Jacob Cook right there. Man, heavy damage to that car. Timmy Pacioli right there. Looks like he got through without a scratch. And Christian James, despite getting turned there, I think he got away with very little damage as well. And there you see Alex Lozano, who was able to continue on. Okay, this is what happened to John Dillon here. This was coming down. He was damaged. He wanted to come down pit road. Felix Harris is pushing him, and he kind of pushes him into Ziggy Bain, who comes alongside. And John Dillon, innocently trying to get down pit road, gets turned around. Ziggy Bain got a piece of the inside wall there as well. And, oh! Ziggy Bain goes up and right into Felix Harris right there. I think that may have been a bit of retaliation because I think he realized that Felix Harris turned John Dillon down into him. But the ironic part of it is Ziggy Bain was trying to get the revenge, and he's the one that spins out. Felix Harris drives away. But you see the tires spinning. He's able to get the car going again, but that's why we're under the caution. Quite a few incidents occurring here on the very first lap of this event. So we will get ready to go back under green with championship contenders holding the first three spots. Richards, Chambers, and Columbia. Drivers out as a result of this whole incident that went on. I'm going to check here and see if Devin Wilson is continuing. Just quickly looking through the field here. Please bear with me. Alright, so the cars that are out include Devin Wilson, Shane Green, Ziggy Bain, Noah Cars, John Dillon. Out in 38th is championship contender Kenny McCurry. Out in 39th, championship contender Jacob Cook. Then in 40th, you got Jake Berg. Out in 41st is championship contender Evan Nugent. And finishing 42nd is Connor Breton. So there are 3 of your 16 championship contenders involved right there. We don't have time to go through the full field, so we're going to look and see where our championship contenders are running right now. Jack Richards leads, Adam Chambers 2nd, Arnold Columbia is 3rd, Jared Crocious runs in 5th, Ray Wilson in 6th, Noel Stiller runs in 7th. Back here is Anthony McCurry, he runs in 12th, Patrick Murphy is in 13th, then you got Timmy Pacioli back in 18th, in 21st is Christian James. In 27th, you've got Vincent Marsh. 28th is Alex Lozano. And 31st is Jack Nathan. And those are the chase contenders still in this race. 3 of them, if you're just joining us, taken out in a big wreck that occurred on the very first lap. And those chase contenders are Kenny McCurry, Jacob Cook, and Evan Nugent. Nugent, the only one of those 3 drivers that are out that had a win to possibly fall back on to mathematically stay in championship contention, as the green flag is back out. Jack Richards leads the way. And I'll tell you what, something kind of motivating that 5 car. He was a go-or-go-homer, but making this chase, he is out in front and he's showing what that 5 can do. Maybe just a little bit of motivation like that was all that was needed to see the potential of that number 5. He pilots the Quaker State colors, and so does Adam Chambers as he'll go by and take the lead. Chambers is going to actually be returning to that number 27 next season, and I believe Jack Richards will be doing the same in the 5. Oh, Ray Wilson almost got turned by Noel Stiller, and they're in the fence! They're spinning in the fence. I couldn't tell who was involved there. It was further back, and I couldn't tell what race cars got into who. But Ray Wilson's way out in front. No doubt he's going to take the lead here. Trent Whitney was involved. There's another chase contender, co-chase leader, Points leader, Arnold Columbia. Joshua Courier's involved. John Brace, Felix Harris, another championship contender, and Patrick Murphy. James Bald, his teammate there. Lozano again may have been involved. There's Robert Bann. Emilio Navarrete is on pit road with absolutely no front to his race car. As the caution waves once more, Ray Wilson leads the way. And now again on this restart, we're going to have 3 chase contenders holding the top 3 spots. Wilson, Richards, and Stiller. Let's see why we're under the caution as more drivers in the championship chase are involved. I saw Patrick Murphy, and I saw others. Let's see what happened to them. Alright, here's a look at what occurred. And I'm going to guess the driver that does the turning is Jared Crocious, turns the 31 of Arnold Columbia, co-points leader Arnold Columbia. Let's watch carefully the 4 Red Bull car. Does he get into the 31? Yes, he does. Gets right into fellow championship contender Arnold Columbia. He gets into Trent Whitney, who was running so well right there, and up into the fence they go. That's a tough break there, and there you see Patrick Murphy. Absolutely nowhere for Murphy to go. And everybody's trying to make their way through. There you see Felix Harris and I think that was Emilio Navarrete getting turned with each other, and Navarrete took a hard hit. John Brace there, Robert Bann there, Joshua Courier, they all just pile in. Jack Nathan did indeed get involved again. Lozano was involved again. James Bald got involved in that as well. There were a lot of cars involved in this. Or Columbia with heavy damage. And that's why we're under the caution. The drivers that I see for their chase contenders that were involved in that were Alex Lozano, also Patrick Murphy, and I believe there was somebody else that I saw that was involved too. Oh, Jack Nathan. So that was a lot of cars. 3 more cars in championship contention involved here. Alex Lozano also could be added to that list. So 4 championship contenders involved, even with even more contact going on here at Riki Raceway. Alright, I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible so that we can have a full field rundown. Alex Lozano, he has retired, I believe. He joins now out of the race due to this wreck. John Brace, chase contender Patrick Murphy, Joshua Courier, chase contender and co-points leader coming into this race. Arnold Columbia, Trent Whitney, Emilio Navarrete, Felix Harris, and Robert Bann. Alright, here's the way they'll line up for the restart. Ray Wilson leads, Jack Richards second, and Noel Stiller third. Chase contenders hold the top 3 spots. Then it's T.O. Bain, chase contender Adam Chambers in 5th. Then you got a few more cars back here that are not chase contenders. Matthew Rodriguez 6th, Harold Columbia 7th, Nick Eggleston 8th, and John Worry 9th. Then a chase contender in Jared Crocious in 10th. Angel D'Souza 11th. Timmy Pacioli's steadily been moving his way up through the field. He's 12th. He's a chase contender. Dougie Shears is in 13th. Then some chase contenders here. Anthony McCurry in 14th and Christian James in 15th. Then you got Daniel Schwab in 16th. Jonathan Morris in 17th. James McLeod 18th. 19th is Jordan Hester. And Vincent Marsh has worked his way back up to 20th. He's a chase contender. Then you got Sean Gallagher 21st. Chase contender Jack Nathan 22nd. And 23rd, the last car on the racetrack, last car on the lead lap, is James Bald. So 23 cars remaining in this race. That means a total of 19 cars have retired from the race. Among those are Alex Lozano, Arnold Columbia, Patrick Murphy, Jacob Cook. Kenny McCurry is also out, as well as Evan Nugent. That's 6 chase contenders taken out here as we are on lap 13 of 20, and the green flag has been displayed for Ray Wilson. Wilson out in front. But he's got some company coming up the inside line there. That's Hendrick teammates Jack Richards and T.O. Bain. And now a challenge for the lead as Jack Richards will try and go back to the front. The 2 Quaker State cars back down to that inside line. Richards and Chambers. Both of them battling it out to be Snickers Cup Series champion. And the Chevy barrage just too much for Ray Wilson. He'll lose the lead, lose second, and now possibly lose third to T.O. Bain. He will do so as well. And I'm surprised we're still under the green flag. But we are. Jack Richards Going to try and slide right down in front of his Hendrick teammate, T.O. Bain, and will do so. Here comes John Worry, Jared Crocious, and Timmy Pacioli. How about the 92? He's just come out of absolutely nowhere as of late, and he is in the top 10 now, trying to find a position in the top 5. Pacioli was one of the most dominant drivers in the first half of this season, then kind of fell off after losing the points lead in the second half of the season to Kenny McCurry, but now he's in the chase, and he wants to make a name for himself and become Season 2 Snickers Cup Series champion. But Jack Richards is still out in front. And go back to what I said earlier, you get the guy a chance to go for the championship, and man, does he show you what he's got. This guy was a go-or-go-homer this whole season. And how did he get in? He won second place in an NR 2003 contest I held, and now look at what it's done. He's trying to get on a high note here, start off the chase on a high note. Here comes Daniel Schwab, picked up a win this season at Talladega Superspeedway, filling in for the injured Logan Wilson. And the laps are winding down very quickly here, folks. Seeing a new driver in the top 5 now, that's Jonathan Morris in the Tire Kingdom Toyota for Germain Racing. But Jack Richards continues to lead, 4 laps to go. The 2 Red Bull cars are back there now in the top 10. Jared Crocious, I think, is about 6th, and Dougie Shears has just broken into the 10th position. You know, the only champion... Oh! Wreck back there! Timmy Pacioli's in the wall! As Nick Eggleston goes for the lead. Are we under the caution? No! They saved it! How did they say... Oh, Noel Stiller's off the pace. Championship contender. Noel Stiller is off the pace. Harold Columbia is headed for pit road as well. Something happened back there. I don't know what. I know Tim Pacioli was involved, but Harold Columbia and chase contender Noel Stiller's headed for pit road, and now there's a wreck back there further. The yellow will come out undoubtedly, as this is going to be a battle back to the line. Whoever wins it at the line wins the race, as they are 3 wide for the lead. Eggleston right down to that inside line as he'll pass Crocious. Eggleston looking maybe for his first win of the season, but he's got Richards to the inside. Photo finish at the stripe. Nick Eggleston's going to pick up his first career Snickers Cup Series victory in that number 37 at Riki Raceway. Jack Nathan was involved in that again. It looks like Sean Galligan, Anthony McCurry, that's another chase contender there. John Worry, Daniel Schwab, another chase contender, and Vincent Marsh. And Noel Stiller, as we mentioned, is on pit road. Oh my goodness. There's the guy who's going to win this race, Nick Eggleston. He'll win this race under caution. But we're going to take a look now and see what the wreck was that occurred to bring out the caution flag. First, we're going to check and see what happened to Noel Stiller and Harold Columbia, and then we'll check and see what occurred to involve chase contenders Anthony McCurry and Vincent Marsh. It looks like Timmy Pacioli is going to end up getting the squeeze into the wall right here. Yeah, right. Oh, he kind of comes down into John Worry. Then Ray Wilson, another championship contender, gets his right front quarter panel in there. And look at the air that 92 gets. John Worry got some contact there. And watch Noel Stiller right there. I think he's going to get in the back of Ray Wilson. Right there. And Harold Columbia really gets into the back of John Worry. So that's why those two headed down pit road. Heavy-duty contact for Harold Columbia and Noel Stiller, who actually was the points leader before the chase began, finds some problems here late at Riki Raceway. Let's now see what the bigger wreck was that actually did bring out the caution. And the driver that was pretty much the trigger of this, well, he wasn't the trigger, but he was the one that a lot of drivers hit. Watch this 83 get turned by Angel D'Souza right there. That's going to send Dougie Shears and Angel D'Souza up the racetrack. Nowhere for Daniel Schwab to go. He just runs right into the back of our defending champion. And Schwab, who won at Talladega, I believe it was at Talladega, maybe it was at Daytona. I think it was at Daytona. But he does not end the day on a high note there, and he was actually running in the 8th position at the time that wreck occurred, and then this stuff is not going to be pretty. Watch this. He's actually right there in the racing groove. Ray Wilson, championship contenders, able to make it by. So is Timmy Pacioli, but Anthony McCurry, no such luck. John Worry runs right into the back of him. Sean Galligan, Jack Nathan, they're involved. Vincent Marsh nails fellow championship contender Anthony McCurry. Look at how much air Anthony McCurry's car got right there. And right there, that's 3 championship contenders that I can tell you about. McCurry, Marsh, and Nathan. I'll tell you what, some have fared well here today, some of them have not. Let's go back now for the finish of this race, as it's going to end under caution. Nick Eggleston's going to pick up his first career win. So Nick Eggleston's on the back straightaway. He will come around, cross the stripe, and pick up his first career win. Chase finishers that are going to finish this race at least. Jack Richards will finish 2nd. Jared Crocious will finish 3rd. Adam Chambers will finish in 5th. Then you got to go a long ways back before you find Ray Wilson in 11th. Christian James in 12th. Timmy Pacioli in 13th. Jack Nathan will finish in 15th. 18th, one lap down, will be Noel Stiller. And Vincent Marsh still sits on pit road. Anthony McCurry has retired. So I believe that's a total of only, 7 drivers out of 16 who are actually going to finish this event. And I think 6 of them finishing on the lead lap. That's not very many. But nonetheless, Nick Eggleston's going to defy the odds, and Eggleston's going to come down and pick up his first career Snickers Cup Series victory as he takes the checkers at Riki Raceway. Congrats to him, a well-needed win and a well-deserved win as well for Nick Eggleston, who really needed something like that due to the fact that he ended up falling out of the chase last week and was not able to contend for the championship this season. Let's take a look now at the finishing order, and then I'll be back to show you what the point standings look like in the chase for the championship heading into next week's event. Okay, so when all is said and done at the end of the day, some drivers did what they set out to do, some drivers did not, but hey, that's NASCAR racing. Anyway, Adam Chambers is the new points leader, 2 points over Jack Richards. Jared Crocious is only 3 points back in 3rd. Christian James only 7 points back in 4th. Pacioli is only 8 points back in 5th. And then 11 points back, you got Ray Wilson. And look at this, all the way down to Vincent Marsh. That's only 19 points separating the top 12. But then after that, you start getting into the drivers that are going to have to start picking up the pace that weren't really up in the standings at the start of this race and ended up finishing out of the race. And these are those 4 drivers. I mean, look at how it jumps from 19 points now to 26, 36, 38, and 39 back for Murphy, Nugent, McCurry, and Jacob Cook. So they'll have to pick it up next week when we head to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Thanks for watching today's race. We have finished up the Riki Raceway weekend. We head to the Brickyard next. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA numbers with the NCGMRS. Here comes the final point standings for 17th on down and the rookie standings. Thanks for watching the NNSCRA Sports Channel.